Stirring your mind with chopsticks using the vortex method, the only true way to optimize your mind at the molecular level, actually at the cellular level. Good morning, welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started, but first, coffee, but I'm going to put monk fruit sweetener in it. Let me just taste it first, though, without anything. Good, fantastic, I love it. Now, the monk fruit sweetener, and I'll tell you why I'm using it in just a minute. Monk fruit. Okay. The deal with monk fruit is it's 0 calories. 0 calories. And let's see, 0 fat, 0 sodium, carbohydrates, 4 grams. My mother told me about this, but this is going to lead to another discussion in just a second, so let me stir it up now. Not bad. Hold on a second. A little, it's almost like, it's like I put like a half a teaspoon of sugar in. It's not real sweet, but it's just elevates that sweet thing just a little bit. That sweet thing elevates that sweet thing just a little bit. Let me stir it a little bit more. I like it. I like it. Will I use it again? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I need to put more in. I don't know, because I do tend to like coffee a little bit sweeter sometimes. Not all the time. But let's get started. Oh, I was talking to my mom yesterday, who is a keto person, ketogenic cooking person, high protein, low carb, high fat. If you know my family, we eat pretty healthy. My mother cooks very, very healthy. I used to go to friends' houses when I was like a boy so I could eat Captain Crunch because she was giving us like oatmeal and wheatina and like this kind of stuff, porridge. And I was just dying for sugary cereals. You know how kids want like Lucky Charms and Captain Crunch and this kind of stuff. And I would have to like literally, it was like I was going into behind, I was like leaving like the prison to go and like do drugs and then come back or something like that. I'm joking about that part, but it was like forbidden. We didn't have that kind of stuff in my house. Unfortunately, I didn't have the pleasure of having sugary cereals. I don't eat them now, but so I was talking to her yesterday when I was on my lunch break at work, and she was making this ketogenic, keto-friendly keto bread, and it's a Keto Mug Bread. If you Google these 3 words, Keto Mug Bread, mug as in coffee mug bread, and you take some flour. She used almond flour. You can also use coconut flour, which I got yesterday. So you take, literally, it was just, like 3 tablespoons of coconut flour. No, here's the recipe. Take a tablespoon of butter, melt it in a mug in the microwave, swish it around when it's melted so it coats the inside of the mug. Take 3 tablespoons of coconut flour or almond flour. I gotta find almond flour. I'm gonna do it with almond flour later on today when I get out of work. 1 egg, a pinch of salt, and half a teaspoon of baking powder. Mix it all up. Just mix it all up into it doesn't become dough, but it's not batter either. It's like a cross between batter and dough. It becomes a more solid thing, not a stretchy, puffy dough. More like a very, very thick muffin mix. And then what I do is I just kind of patted it down a little bit with a spoon in the mug. Microwave it for 90 seconds. When it's done, just take the mug and that thing just pops right out. And what it ends up looking like is like 2 or 3 English muffins. You have a round loaf, or like a very high, like if you have a cup like this, just think of a little mini loaf of bread the size of the cup. It can't be the kind of cup that goes like this. It needs to be cylindrical. That way, when you take that cylinder of cooked bread out, you can slice it into 4 pieces where you can make a sandwich with it or put butter on it. I put butter on it. So it looks like, you know how English muffins look? Just imagine taking 2 or 3 English muffins and stacking them so it kind of has that kind of look. And it was actually decent. And of course, I'm a cinnamon freak. I'm a cinnamon bun freak. There is the possibility that the cause of my death could be Cinnabons. I don't eat Cinnabons, but I'll tell you what, I love the smell of them, the look of them, and when I did eat them on occasion, I probably only had 5 Cinnabons in my whole life. I love cinnamon. Cinnamon toast, cinnamon bread, cinnamon buns, cinnamon muffins. I don't know why. Maybe it's genetic or something. But I'm going to take, I said, Mom, what if I want to make cinnamon bread of some type? She says, well, then you would use monk fruit sweetener. So I got monk fruit sweetener. You know where I got this? Marshall's. In the like gourmet food section of Marshall's. There's a lot of great foods there that are usually half the price of what you would see in a supermarket or a health food store. So I got a bag of monk fruit sweetener. So I'm thinking of doing the recipe with a couple tablespoons of monk fruit sweetener, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, Vietnamese cinnamon, and maybe throw in some raisins or something like that. The idea is to keep it keto and not carb out. And I got to get the almond flour. So you make a loaf that's like this, and this round, as round as the cup. And then you lay it on its side and cut it, and you can toast it or whatever. But I think tonight I'm going to make the cinnamon, little mini cinnamon loaf. Now you got to remember, you're not making bread for your family. This is it's like one person. So if you want to make it for a couple people, just double the recipe, but just go to Keto Mug Bread and you'll see a million recipes for it. I was talking with Agnieszka already this morning. She's 6 hours ahead of me. So what is it now? It's 5 o'clock now. So for her, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. And she doesn't have a microwave. Has like an oven, just a regular kitchen oven. So she's going to make it in an oven. And I'll let you know how that turns out. The microwave did a good job. I wasn't sure if it was going to be even cooking, but I put it right in the middle of that little carousel thing that spins, so it got the even heat distribution. You take it out of the microwave. You only cook it for 90 seconds. Take it out and let it sit for 2 minutes. It just has to sit for 2 minutes or it's just going to fall apart. And it like firms up. Keto Mug Bread. I could make a little fresh loaf thingy every single day if I want. And this is not the kind of thing you want to save. You want to eat this after you make it. It's not like you're going to make like every Sunday you're going to make a week's worth of keto bread. So this is something you literally can do while your coffee is dripping or brewing or steeping or whatever. So there you go. Well, this is my first time with monk fruit sweetener. Not bad. It doesn't have that, like I'm a stevia guy, but only for iced tea in the summer. I can't use stevia in hot tea or hot coffee. Hold on. See, I sneeze into my elbow now, but like when I'm out and about and at work, we bump elbows instead of shake hands. So that's very sterile. Everyone sneezes in their elbows and they bump elbows. Good job. Anyways, try Keto Mug Bread. Mess around with the recipe. Anyone can do it. I happen to be a very good cook and know about proportions and what works and have a good sense of what things work together. Cooking is one of my favorite pastimes and hobbies. I had heard that growing baby corn, you know, like when you go to a Chinese restaurant, you get like whatever, and you see all the different vegetables on the rice, and you get those little mini ears of corn. I had heard that growing that baby corn is one of the most profitable crops that you can actually grow. You can sell it to restaurants, sell it roadside in little containers. And I had read that it's one of the most profitable crops per acre. Like literally an acre of baby corn. I don't know how big. Does it grow like in stalks like regular corn? Is it like a little 2-foot stalk? I don't know. I have no idea. But I had heard that as far as profit per acre, baby corn is killer. So let me ask you this. Other than cannabis, what have you known to be a profitable crop on a small plot of ground? Literally, I know a guy that grows tomatoes, onions, and peppers, and he calls it a salsa kit. He puts it like in one of those like little cardboard square things that you see, like, you know, like when you buy blueberries or strawberries, they come in that cardboard container thing. He puts a tomato, an onion, and a green pepper in there, and he calls it a salsa kit. And I forget how much he sold it for. Was it $3, $5, or something like that? On a stand, on a table at the end of his driveway. And this is what he does during the spring and summer months. And he makes a ton of money making salsa kits. 1 onion, 1 green pepper, 1 tomato. In his yard. I always say grow vegetables, not grass. I can't stand lawns. I can't stand lawns. I think lawns are stupid. I really do. Always have, always will. When I had a big lawn, I kept thinking, I'm actually paying money to have this thing cut. For what? I don't use it. Like, it's not profitable. It's not productive. I hate lawns. I hate lawns. So, what have you known to be a profitable crop that you can grow on a small piece of ground and make money? Do more than break even. Actually make a profit. Put your answer down below. It's so cold that instead of the finger, New Yorkers are giving each other the mitten. Hey, right here. I think I heard that on Jay Leno 20 years ago. So the latest in conspiracies, and I love conspiracies. Do I believe in all the conspiracies? No. But I don't rule things out. I'm fascinated by them. I have people who are so, you would call them tinfoil hat people. Let me tell you something. There hasn't been tinfoil probably in, literally, think about this now. Literally, tinfoil has not existed in 50 years. Don't believe me? Look in your kitchen. It's aluminum foil, not tinfoil. Tinfoil is actually magnetic. You know, a magnet can stick to it, okay? Or it will stick to a magnet. We still use the phrase tinfoil when tinfoil hasn't existed in 50 years. When I was a little boy, I remember tinfoil. Tinfoil would actually rust. Aluminum foil came out when I was a little boy, and then tinfoil disappeared. See if you can find tinfoil where you buy foil. I'd be surprised if you can still find it. You might be able to find it in a, a gourmet cooking store. Kitchen Capers, Sur La Table, any of these, Williams and Sonoma or something like that. You just cannot find tinfoil anywhere. Anyways, tinfoil hats. All right, we call conspiracy theorists, tinfoil hat people. I'm not so fast to write them off because sometimes they're right. Sometimes they are correct. And I belong to like a couple groups where there are some far out theories. But one of the things that I heard recently is, and this was breaking, and when I say breaking news, well, first of all, when my conspiracy friends say breaking news, I say it like they go, breaking news. I go, breaking news? See, it's in the way that you say it. I put a question mark. Breaking news? Because I always put I introduce a little bit of skepticism in there. So this morning, all right, I get up at 4, so I think at about 2 in the morning this came through. I say, breaking news? Obama and the Ministry of Italy altered voting systems via private military contractors and satellites in space. That came through today. And then the next message was, all roads seem to be leading to Rome, to Italy. How interesting, right? How embarrassing for the Italian people. But how interesting, if that's true. Do I have any verification? No. Will there be more corroboration of this? If it's true, yes. If it's true, there's going to be a ton of every media organization will be involved in suppressing this. We'll see. Some people like sports statistics. I like conspiracy theories. I find them entertaining. We all thought that anyone who was a UFO or Area 51 person was nuts, right? So what did we hear recently? We're not alone. That aliens have had contact with the Earth. All of a sudden, all of those crazy conspiracy theorists are not so crazy, are they? Or is that a psyop or a false flag to take our eyes off of something else and put them over here? A distraction, a sleight of hand. I don't know. But I do enjoy entertaining these things. Do I speak with a high amount of certainty? No. I am very similar to the amazing Randy. I have to see it to believe it, and I will debunk it if I can. If I can. So when you hear me talk about conspiracies, I always have like a little smirk on my face. Or like I said, I go breaking news rather than breaking news. Yesterday I said something on Twitter. I said, American and Canadian women are pretty much gone. You can throw men in there too. I mean, let's get real. We are trusting the future of America with men who are just spraying their seeds around like a landscaper, hydro seeding, and women just receiving that seed every possible way. I'm trying to do this as diplomatically as possible, trying to say this without being crude. But here's my message to women, and this is not to be offensive or whatever to all you strong, independent women out there. The good ones must come out and say, hey, I'm one of the good ones. Don't throw me out with the rest of them. You have to make yourself known, or the solid men, the few of them, will pass you by, because there's so much misinformation out there about both genders. Just one day on Twitter or social media will show you how far and unmarriageable most young men and women really are. Men don't want to be married. Women, and most men wouldn't want to marry a woman who has a track record or a notch count like an athlete. So, a wise woman who follows me on Twitter did say this. This was her response. She says, too many young women are falling for the feminist garbage that causes them to dye their hair green and blue and reject males as mates. Soy boys are only half of the problem. Masculine, blue-haired, braless, fat women who misinterpret their role is the other problem. I said, whoa. My response was, well, help me develop this. And she said, third wave feminism has ruined American women's lives and contributed heavily to the destruction of the American family and family values. She can't teach values to her children when she's brainwashed by feminist crap. Wow. You know, if I said it, again, I would come off as a misogynist or hateful. When I hear it coming from a well-educated, older woman, it makes a lot of sense. I've noticed on social media when you post anything regarding that injectable thing that starts with a V, and the ick that social media corrects you by adding a little blurb underneath about elections and things that get injected into your arm and various pathological things that are airborne and elbow-borne. Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram they say it's 5 when you say 4. They automatically, the algorithm puts 5 when you say 2 plus 2 equals 4. And they think if they do it enough, you're really going to believe it's 5. Most of the demented followers of the liberalism religion already believe 4 is 5. So social media is preaching to the choir when it comes to that. This is why that they have to add, it's 5. You say 2 plus 2 equals 4. No, it's not, it's 5. Well, I was taught that it was 4. No, it's 5. But if you do the math, it's 5. You know what? 4 is in your heart. They can scream 5 all they want, but you know it's 4. Who's the crazy one? Do the math. Do the math. 2 plus 2 equals 4. It will never be 5. No matter how loud they say it, no matter how many times they put a little blurb under your social media saying it's 5. You're a 5er. You're a 5 denier. And they put you in a category and round you up because you're a denier. You deny that 2 plus 2 equals 5. You're a 5 denier. And you get labeled. You're a 5er. You're a 5 denier. And then you can't shop. You can't buy things. You can't use the banking system because you're a 5 denier. You can't travel because you're a 5 denier. I say stand up on top of a mountain and shout at the top of your lungs 2 plus 2 equals 4, regardless of the consequences. Finish your coffee, and I'll see you tomorrow on the Daybreak Show, your home of sanity, clarity, reason, and 4.